Hello, my sweet crafty friends. Welcome back to Cardz TV. This is Mary. I have finally finished the little garden mini album that I started for my husband Wayne. It's all about his garden, and I wanted to get it done in time to give it to him for Father's Day. And I've got, I think, 4 videos showing you how I started out with it. And it's made similar to a toilet paper roll album, but I didn't use toilet paper rolls. It seemed like it took me forever to get this little album done. I didn't want it to be, too girly because this is for my husband. Look at this gorgeous seam binding. Karen sent me this. Karen's blog is Little Scrap Pieces. And I love this seam binding, Karen. It's just gorgeous. I used it on my tags, and I tied some on the edges. And I used the green, the red, and the purple. I thought that was so pretty. And these, I think, even purple, I think you can use for a man. This is a dark purple. Look at these adorable little charms hanging on the side here. These came from Sarah over at Dragon Feet Designs. And Sarah made these for me. Aren't they cute? I just hung them on some chain. We have a carrot. Here's a little pea pod with 2 little peas in it. 2 perfect little peas. And even a little garden trowel. Thank you so much, Sarah. Now, guys, I'm going to give you a link so you can go over and check out the other charms that Sarah has. She does custom orders. And these can be used to hang on your scrapbooks, your mini albums. She makes charm bracelets. Just go over, check it out. You can email her and see what she can do for you if you want some of these cute little charms for your mini album or even a charm bracelet. But I love them. I think they really make this album. Now, I put a cover, a front and back cover on this, and I used some pretty heavy chipboard, and I just cut it an 1/8 of an inch larger than my tags. And just covered it with some of the paper from that paper pack. My title of the album, How Does Your Garden Grow? I used Cardz TV Think Spring stamp set. There it is right down there, How Does Your Garden Grow? And I went ahead and stamped it and then just snipped it in half. And I've inked everything in here with Tim Holtz Tea Dye Distress Ink. And you should have seen my hands. Look at these cute little vintage seed packets. I had something different on the front the last time I showed you. I think it was a pepper and a squash and something else. I can't remember. I got it from the Nate's ABC cartridge. I hated it after I started looking at it. The first time I saw it, I liked it. And the more I looked at it, the more I hated it. I thought this does not look good for a masculine album. So I decided to see if I could find some of these little vintage seed packets. So I just Googled vintage vegetable seed packets, and it pulled up all these different ones. And to match my little charms over here, I found carrot and peas, and then Wayne's favorite vegetable is a tomato, so I did a tomato as well. And I just printed them out in a smaller size, and I've inked around them, and they really look old and, like they've been around a long time. I love that look. And I just grouped them together and put them on one thickness of foam tape. Now this down here, because how does your garden grow? So I used this measuring tape. This is washi tape from Freckled Fawn. I love washi tape, and they have some of the cutest, but I especially love this one. And I've used it twice in this album. It's so easy to use, and I think it just adds so much to whatever you put it on. I've done a card with this one as well, but I'll give you a link to Freckled Fawn too, so you can go over and see if they've got some washi tape you might be interested in. They've got tons of it, all different patterns and designs. This little button right here came from my friend Susan. She sent me a whole bag full of buttons. Thank you, Susan. And I use them on just about everything. I love them. So many different kinds in there. And it's just put on with a glue dot. Now, most everything in here, I've used either my ATG gun or Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. That stuff is great, and it works really well. Okay, I'll show you the first 2 pages. Now this is a picture right here of the garden. Here's Wayne's corn, some peas, and tomatoes. And I've got a little tag here. I printed this on the computer. It says Wayne's garden. These tomatoes came from my kitchen cartridge. And I made a little pocket right here. There's a little button from Favorite Findings. And I made a tag. And I did use tags, bags, boxes, and more for most of the tags in this album. Some of the little ones I did use some tag punches. But here's a tag. I used another of those vintage seed packets. This one's for green beans. And I've done a little journaling on the back. Then here's one for squash, and I did this in a smaller size and just put it on some cardstock. And you can see I've inked around everything. And I used a Cardz TV stamp because I'm so proud of Wayne for getting out in the heat every summer and growing this garden for us. So I wanted to let him know, and since this is for Father's Day. So I stamped that, and that is from, I think it's All About You. Yeah. That came from the All About You set. There it is right there. You Make Me Proud. And I like to put some metal in masculine albums and cards. So I found these cute little safety pins. This one's really dark and old looking. And I thought that would be really cute to put just a little grouping of tags together. So I cut those out with 2 EK Success punches. One has a square top and one has a scallop top. Just cute little tags, put them together with the pen. And then I stamped the back, Blessings, Happy Harvest, and Bless Your Heart. And these once again came from Cardz TV stamp sets. Now this were tomatoes. I cut this out from the freshly picked cartridge. Where is that one? Here we go. And I wanted to take a white gel pen and do some doodling on here. But I don't know if you can see. This paper is very, very textured. And I cut one of these out, and when I tried to do some little dots and dashes, they just all kind of ran together. So I couldn't do it, but I really wanted to use this cardstock because it's nice and thick, and I love the texture of it. So I put that across the bottom of the picture. Just Soaking Up Rays came from the Cardz TV Fun in the Sunset. And I just put that up there and inked around that. Little red button with some of that hemp through it. Now for this frame, I used Elegant Edges, one of my favorites. And this frame was cut at 3 1/4 inches. And I cut it 3 times because I wanted it to have some thickness to it. And I don't know if you can see that, but I've put some acetate in there. I just put that between 2 of the frames. And that way, when the book is closed, it will protect my photograph from the button and the pins and things over here. I really love that. And I left the top open so I could just slide my photograph right down in there. I also like the fact that it hangs over the edges and you can see it from the top of the album when it's closed, and I really like the look of that. Then we have a tag in the pocket just as if it was a toilet paper rolled album, and these tag pockets are the same size as the toilet paper rolls. And I left the back for journaling, and a photograph can go on the front, and that just slides right back in. Okay, Wayne also has cabbage in his garden. Here's another vintage seed packet right here. This is a picture of Wayne's actual cabbage. Isn't that beautiful? He grows the prettiest cabbage, and it tastes so good. This is another stamp from the Cardz TV stamp set. It's All About You, and I just stamped it and put that right down there because I think this cabbage is the best, and so is Wayne. So I thought that was really great to put right there. I've got this popped up on some foam tape so I could put some tags in here. Here's another of the little vintage seed packets, and I've put 2 tags on here. And on the back I've stamped it, The Sweet Life. And this is from Cardz TV Stamps Sweet Talk. And I did another smaller tag with a pen. And I stamped this one Harvest Blessings. And this is from Thankful for You. Then over here on this page, I used the freshly picked cartridge to cut out my little grass mound to put my little sign in for the cabbage. The cabbage also came from there, except it's supposed to be lettuce. But I thought it looked like cabbage too, so I went ahead and used it. I cut all of this out at 2 inches, and I think I cut this out also at 2 inches. And this is on 1 thickness of foam tape, and I just added some buttons up here in the corner. Now this little sign, I wanted it to have a look of old wood, so I took my bone folder and just went down in this direction to make it look like wood, and then as if this were a cross piece of wood, I went across it this way and then inked it. And I don't know if y'all can see that, but I love the way it turned out. I printed Cabbage on my computer and inked it, and these are 2 tiny little screw head brads that I've had for a while, and I put one on either side so it looks like it's holding the little sign on there. I just love that. And this is on 1 thickness of foam tape. And I have another tag in here for a photograph and some journaling. And as the garden progresses, I'll get more photographs. Love this one. This is another vintage seed packet, and it's up on 1 thickness of foam tape. And look at these cute little slices of watermelon. These came from my good friend Lynn from Boots and Bling Time. And Lynn had sent me the cutest little card with watermelons on it, and she put these 2 slices inside for me to use. And I thought, perfect. Thank you, Lynn. I thought these went great on these 2 pages. A Slice of Summer is another stamp from the Fun in the Sun Cardz TV stamp set, and I've added some black buttons because it reminds me of watermelon seeds. These 2 stamps came from the Cardz TV Make-A-Wish stamp set, and there's another one of Lynn's little watermelon slices. And right here I used the, I think it's called Fabulous Finds cartridge to cut this little file folder. And Bloom is from, I think, Garden Greetings. Yeah. And all I did was mask off the front part of it and stamp Bloom and put this on here. And inside you can put a photograph there and one there. Here's another tag, and I put So Thankful, and that's from the Thankful for You set. And You're One in a Melon. And this one is Thanks a Melon, because I'm so thankful for that garden. Wayne grows the best vegetables, and we enjoy them in the summer and the winter time. And I think I cut this at 1 3/4 inches, the little file folder and all the little files inside. We have another tag for journaling and a photograph. See, it's just like a toilet paper roll album, isn't it? And here's our last 2 pages. Here's a photograph of Wayne's corn. And it was almost too cloudy for me to get this picture that day, but it turned out pretty good. Here's some peas over here too. This is from the Cardz TV Garden Greetings set. There it is right there, so corny. And I just made a little banner out of it, added a brown button. And this frame was also cut at 3 1/4 inches from Elegant Edges, and I did the same thing with the acetate. And this corn came from the From My Kitchen cartridge. Love that. And this paper is textured, and it looks like actual kernels of corn on here. I thought that was so cute because it looks so real. Now over here, I'll show you this in a minute. I added a little band to tuck these under, and this is some more of that awesome washi tape just wrapped around a piece of the cardstock. I think this is 1 inch by 3 1/8, and I've just got it secured on the edges. I did use a lot of score tape, like for my pockets, because it holds really well. Here's another vintage seed packet. Wayne's also got onions in the garden, and I fixed the back for some more journaling, and that just tucks right in there. And I went online when I was looking for the seed packets because I wanted to find some quotes or something about gardens. Well, I came to this one place, and it had poems that people had sent in who weren't really people who wrote poetry for a living or anything. They just came up with some poems. And I found this one called Life's Garden, and I've made it into a little accordion book. And this just slides off. This is some of that twine with a pin through it. I printed this on the computer. And then we'll open it up and I'll read this to you. Life's Garden. Life is like a garden, each day a budding flower, unfolding at the dawning to close at sunset hour. Life is like a garden, with a bit of sun and rain, helping it to grow and strength and beauty gain. Life is like a garden where we may sow the seeds of happiness, contentment, and faith by kind and constant deeds. Life is like a garden, rich and fertile as the sod, where we may reap our blessings with the help of God. Isn't that beautiful? And this was written by Robin from Washington, Iowa, and she wrote this in 2006, and that's the only way I can give her any credit is because that's all the information she gave us. But Robin, this is just beautiful, and I thought it was perfect for this, and I know Wayne will enjoy reading it. And I just made it into this little book, and then this just goes right back around it, so he won't have to worry about tying that bow back, and it just tucks right back in here. And this is the last page, and I'm so happy that I got it done in time, and I can't wait to give it to Wayne. I think he's going to enjoy it. And like I said, as the garden progresses, I'll take more photographs and add them in on the tags. So he'll have, like, he can put information in there about what kind of seeds he used and what kind of harvest he got. So this will be kind of like a journal for him too. And see how those little scallops show? I love that. There you go, guys. Now don't forget to go over and check out these charms at Dragon Feet Designs. She does an awesome job, and I think they're so cute on here. And thank you again to Karen from Little Scrap Pieces for the wonderful seam binding. Thanks to Susan for the buttons. And thanks so much to Lynn for the little watermelon slices. Love those. There we go, guys. And thanks to you for coming by and spending some time with me today. I really appreciate all of you. And I will see you again soon. Bye now.